Hello, this is Dheeraj sir, and you are most welcome to the Dheeraj sir YouTube channel. Now, here is the utility part 3 of SYGC economics. So, today we are going to discuss the most important question of utility is the law of diminishing marginal utility. This is also known as the D.M.U. So, dear friend, this is very important question, and how to write this question. Now, this is solved in a step by step. Like the step number 1 is the introduction to utility, which we have already discussed in part 1, and the step number 2 is the statement of law. This is also discussed in part 1 and 2. So after this, now this will solve with the help of schedule and a diagram. Diagram means the graph. Okay. Dear friends, utility means what? Utility means the power of a things to satisfy human wants. But the term here is the diminishing marginal utility. Diminishing means what? Diminishing means a reduction. Reduction in the satisfaction of a person, and how it happens. So, first we will discuss how the utility gets diminishes. For example, if any person is thirsty and he needs a glass of water, so when he takes the first glass of water, so the person gets a maximum satisfaction, as the person consumes or drinks the water continuously without taking a break, so its satisfaction level discharged, or we can say the diminishes. So this is the diminishing marginal utility. Means if you are eating or consuming or drinking anything without taking a single break, so your satisfaction level goes down. And you can also take the example of this in your daily life. When you are eating something, when you are drinking something at your home, at your surrounding. So this is an example to learn you better. So dear friends, the step 1 is the introduction to utility, 2 is the statement of law, and after this, so we here going to explain that this can be explained with the help of following schedule and diagram. Now, the step number 3 is schedule and step number 4 diagram. Now, how to write the schedule? Here is number of units of mangoes, and the next one the marginal utility. Now, I am going to discuss here when as a person gets or consumes mango without taking a single break, then how the MU means marginal utility gets diminishes. Okay, now for example, if a person consumes the first mango, for example the first mangoes, then the marginal utility became 10. Okay, and after the first mango without taking a single break, as consumed the second one, so the utility gets diminishes. So here like 8, and after the second mangoes, when consumes the third one, so the utility continuously decreases from 8 to 6. As fourth one consumed, it gets 4. As fifth, then this is 2, and as a sixth mango was consumed, utility became 0. Okay, because after this fifth one, there is no need of any consumption and no satisfaction. And after the 0, if consuming this seventh one, so utility becomes negative. So this is the MU, like the marginal utility. As you consume the number of mangoes without taking a single break, your MU gets diminishes. Now this one will be explained with the help of following diagram. So let's see the diagram. Now this is the x-axis and this one is y. On x-axis there is a number of units of mangoes, and on y-axis there is a marginal utility. Now it is unit is 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here you have to put 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now after this is the marginal utility. So this is the 10 is the highest one, and we'll start from here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, but you can also take 12, no problem. And here at downside this is a negative 1, so minus 2. Okay. Now as how put the diagram and how to make a graph. See here, when first unit of mango consumed, so the utility was 10. So as the number of unit 1, so your satisfaction is 10. So how to draw this? Now take the scale, and as a 1 unit of mango, utility is 10. Put the point. When second unit was consumed, utility was 8. So when you the second one, your utility was 8. So put here 8. Okay. Now when third one, so it was 6. When you got third, so your satisfaction level is 6. Okay. So put a dot. As fourth unit was consumed, satisfaction was 4. So at the point of 4, put here 4. Then after fourth one, when fifth was consumed, so satisfaction was 2. So when fifth, so it was 2. Okay. And as the sixth one was consumed, so satisfaction level was 0. So this is a 0, and 7 it was minus 2. So minus 2 means a negative number. So put here minus 2. Okay. Now after this, take a scale, help of scale, and draw a line by joining these dots. Okay. So this is a line of MU, and here you can give a name. Here you can give a proper name. Here is MU. Okay. So this is a diagram. So this is a very easy diagram that you can prepare. Now after drawing this, the next step is the explanation of the diagram and schedule. So how to explain? Let's see. Now first thing, explanation is a very easy part. Now we have to explain or write by looking the schedule and your graph. Now first thing, here is the number of unit on x-axis, and the MU means the marginal utility is on y-axis. Okay, so first of all we have to write that number of units measured on x-axis and marginal utility is measured on y-axis. See, from the above diagram means from this diagram, it is very clear that the units of mangoes means the number of units. You can write units of mangoes or number of units. Both are the same thing. Once again, from the above diagram, it is very clear that the units of mangoes is measured on x-axis and marginal utility, this part MU, the marginal utility is measured on y-axis. Got it? So this is very easy, that units of mango on x-axis and MU marginal utility on y-axis. Now the next one. Now next one is very easy. As we consume the first mango, utility was 10. As the second mango, utility was 8. As the third mango's utility was 6. As the fourth mango, utility was 4. As fifth, utility was 2. Sixth one, it becomes 0. And after the seventh one you consumed, utility becomes negative. So this one only you have to write in your own words, but not in your simple language, in the words of economics. So let's see how to write. See the point number 1. Right, when first unit of mango consumed, it means when first unit of mango consumed, the marginal utility is 10. How was 10? Now when first consumed, it was 10. Now after this, when second unit of mango is consumed, you have to write mangoes, not mango. When second unit of mangoes is consumed, the MU, means the marginal utility, reduced to 8. As we have already discussed that earlier, as you consume more and more number of units of mangoes, your utility gets a diminishes. So first, when you consumed first one, MU was 10. As the second mango was consumed, so the MU was 8. Now, as consumption rises, here is second to fourth unit. Now, second to fourth, see, it gets very lengthy as we write 1 to 7th continuously. So, we can take a jump from second to fourth. So, as consumption rises from second to fourth unit of mangoes, the utility reduced to 4. See, when second to 8, when fourth, then fourth. It means from second to fourth, 3 is already covered. Okay, so there is no doubt that we have not explained the third one. It is already covered in the fourth, in between second and fourth. Now next one, as further rises consumption from 4th to 6th unit, here from 4th to 6th unit, the utility becomes 0. It means here is no satisfaction. Now fifth one, as the last 7th unit consumed, utility became negative. So we have already discussed that negative and negative, how much? This is minus 2. Okay. Now here, hence it is clear that the marginal utility MU diminishes when your consumption rises. So you are very clear that as you consume first to 7th mango continuously without taking a single break, and there is no change in the taste, shape, design, etc. So your MU gets a diminishes, and as you consume more and more mangoes, MU gets a diminishes. Okay. And now we are just going to discuss about the assumptions and exceptions. Okay, let's see. Now the assumption of the law of D.M.U. Now assumption means everything we have to assume whether it is not in reality. Now the number 1, the rationality. Rationality means what? Rationality means the maximum satisfaction. So the every customer needs a maximum satisfaction with a minimum input. So this is a rationality. Okay. Now, and a minimum input. It means they want less input and more satisfaction. Now next thing is the cardinal measurement. Cardinal measurement means the utility can be measured in a cardinally. Cardinally means in numbers. So we have to here assume that the utility can be measured in numbers. but it is not in reality. Now, next thing, the homogeneity. Homogeneity means what? Homogeneity means the similar. It means if you are eating any mango, so the every mangoes means the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, as we just discussed earlier, there was a 7 mangoes. So the all total 7 mangoes, there would be no change in their taste, no change in taste, no change in their shape, no change in their color, and no change in their price, weight, everything. Okay, so this is a homogeneity, but in reality it doesn't happens. Now next thing, the continuity. Continuity means what? Continuity means a regular things without taking a single break. This is known as a continuity. It means if you are eating first mango, then after the consumption of first one, without taking a break, without taking any other things, you have to consume the mangoes one by one. So this is a continuity, but this never happens in reality, that a person eats anything or consume the regular like one after another. Next thing is the reasonability. Reasonability means what? Means the things you are eating or the consuming is must be a reasonable in size. Reasonable in size means the mango like a 100 gram or a 250 gram, and not a 1 kg of one mango and 2 kg of one mango. So it is a reasonable in size. Okay. Now next thing is the constancy. Constancy means what? The everything must be constant. And the divisibility means if you are eating any mangoes, so if it is a 5 kg of one mango, so that it can be divided in the parts, or we can say divided in a slice. Okay. The last thing is a single want. The means the thing, the goods you are consuming, the commodity, there is only one want must be satisfied, not more than one. If more than one, then it will not be applicable to D.M.U. Okay. Now after this, we are just going to discuss about the exceptions. Now exceptions is the total opposite of assumption. In assumption, that when you consume utility one by one, means without taking a break consuming, so your utility gets a diminishes. But here in case of exception, when you using or the getting, the utility gets a increases. Now for example, first thing is the hobbies. You know hobbies. Hobbies means the hobbies of a person is totally different from person to person. Like if your hobby is to playing cricket, so if a person plays cricket more and more and continuously, so their utility gets a increases. If a person is very interested in playing a chess, playing a carom, playing or any other thing, so if he does more and more thing, or he do more and more thing, so their utility gets a increases. Okay. Now next thing, the miser. You know miser, in Hindi miser means the kanjus. It means the every additional rupee, what? Every additional money gives more satisfaction. Okay. Money satisfaction rises, or we can say the utility rises. So the next one is the drunkard. Drunkard, see, in case of drunkard, we have already seen that a bag of wines, the every bag of wines, like every bag of wines gives more and more satisfaction. Okay. So this is a drunkard regarding. Next in the reading, if a person is, if any scholar students, we can say any scholar students, so the scholar students gets a more and more satisfaction when he reads additional pages or the additional books. Then money, the MU of money never becomes zero. Okay. So MU means marginal utility of money never becomes zero. Money never becomes 0. Now, the last thing is the power. If a person gets a power, so if a person gets a power more and more, the utility always increases and not diminishes. Okay. So, after this, the one question is completed of 10 marks. So, this was a very important question. See here, they explain the law of D.M.U. This was part 3 of utility, consumer behavior, SYJC, very important question. Introduction to utility, statement of law, then schedule and diagram and their explanation. And after the explanation, there is a assumption. There was some assumption of 8 points and the exception of 6 points. Okay. So, this was the part 3. So, and in the next lecture, part 4, we will take some new topics of demand analysis. Okay. Thank you.